What up, B-Rock crew? It's been a while, but I have some new figures to unbox for you, so let's get into it. Okay, so yes, it's been a while. I've been away for a little over a month because I had some family stuff going on, had some personal stuff going on. Well, I think family is personal, but what I mean by that, family matters to handle and individual personal matters to handle for myself, not including my family. But good news is I'm back. I'm about to start going back into videos, making a lot more stuff, and today I have a few unboxings to do for you guys. So let's get into what I actually have. The box I got from Miami this time was probably the biggest box I've ever gotten, and it had 3 figures in it. It had a Sakura Matou from the Fate Stay Night series, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Millennium Puzzle in it, and it had a Azure Lane figure in it. So, and just to get a little clarification, I don't play like the mobile game for Azure Lane. I don't play anything for Azure Lane at all, and I don't really consume the series for the most part. But when I think I've explained this before, when I see a figure I think is aesthetically pleasing, I will get it if I don't particularly know the actual series it comes from. Kind of like the same thing with my Genshin Impact figure I got last year, which again, that's probably one of my top figures because it's a beautiful one at that. But I'm going more for aesthetic. I like if I think a figure is beautiful or fits my collection or anything like that, then I'm probably going to get the figure. But to clarify for this video, I will only be opening 2 of those figures, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Puzzle and the Sakura Matou figure. The Azure Lane figure will be its own separate video. So why don't we get into the opening? Style reveal of it is going to be the Millennium Puzzle, which I have right here. All right, so this is the puzzle. It goes for about 8,800 yen on Ami if you can still find it. It pops up every now and again. You probably can still find it on like Right Stuff, maybe Solar Japan, or a few other things, maybe on Amazon if you want to take your chances there. So it retails for about like 55 USD, which is a very nice size. It's actually a little smarter than I was expecting, which is actually okay. It comes with a nice little stand that you can just prop up and everything. It also comes with a string, the one that Yugi uses in like season 1, where it's just a brown magnetic string, which is cool. It's fine, it works. except it's a little too long for me. Like, it sits way lower than I would like. Not that I'm ever going to wear it, but I don't personally like how long it is. But I don't actually put the string on here because I didn't like it. It's supposed to make sounds and light up, but mine's, I have not figured out what's wrong with it. I have not really taken the time to look at what I'm supposed to do because the instructions are not in English. And I know there's videos about it, but I haven't really taken the time to do it because I don't particularly plan to have it light up and everything. I'm just have it next to a bunch of my Yu-Gi-Oh tins, like the tins that look like the tablet from the Yu-Gi-Oh series. And if you don't know, I do play Yu-Gi-Oh a little bit here and there. I play mostly casually with my friends. I don't go to competitions or anything. But if that's something you guys would like to see more of from me, like some small things with Yu-Gi-Oh, let me know. I'll be interested to show it. But that's the Millennium Puzzle. There is the Millennium Rod and the Millennium Ring that they just have a pre-order for. So I might get those to kind of make the whole Millennium set collection, which would be really cool. So I might get those in the future. And at one point I might display all of those and just show you guys that if I ever have an opportunity. But that's the Millennium Puzzle. Not a big thing, not something I really plan to show off a lot here because, again, it's very minor. But, again, if I want to show off this, like, there you go. It's pretty nice. It has a very nice gold tint. The only thing about this I will tell you, if you're going to display it, wipe it down, maybe wear gloves because this thing gets fingerprints all over it. And I've had to wipe it down. I'm going to have to wipe it down after this. There's a lot of fingerprints on it right now. So there's that. All right. Now for the actual key figure that I have for today. We have the Sakura Matou figure from Fate Stay Night. Heaven's Feel, and it is, I think most people call this Dark Sakura, which is amazing. So the Sakura figure is amazing. I actually plan to get Aniplex's figure of Sakura in this way because I have the Saber Alta figure from the Heaven's Feel movies, and if you connect those two figures, they're supposed to be very unique because Sakura is supposed to sit very high behind Saber. But when this one got announced, I fell in love with this one because, again, it's made by one of my favorite companies. It's made by Alter. If you don't know, Alter makes beautiful figures. It's one of my favorite companies, if not my favorite. And I always love the work they do, the details they go into, the designs. I love their figures a lot. And it has a very unique base. It has a very unique pose. I love everything about it. And this is probably one of the more complicated figures I've had to assemble for them because it has a bunch of these, I don't want to say tendrils, but they're more like strands from her dress and the shadows that you have to literally put on piece by piece. I don't think I showed a lot of that in my assembly video because it literally was a lot. It was a lot of strands and I couldn't always snap them into place. So just be aware, if you get this figure, it does have a lot of those strands and snaps that you have to lock into place. And it could be very tricky because if you potentially snag one to another one, it might snap off. So I want y'all to be wary of that if you get this figure. Alter's figures are pretty sturdy, they're pretty good, but again, any figure could have some manufacturer defect or some kind of odds where you're not very careful, something could break off. Remember, these things are plastic or PVC or resin, and they can be easily broken. So I do want to advise you to be careful when putting something like this together because then it falls on you if it's not a manufacturer defect, and it falls on you that you broke it, you don't really get a chance to return it as far as I'm aware of. But if you find, I will say this, if you do find things with your figures broken, that's why I say record your openings. Even if you don't make a channel, record your openings so you can send that information to AmiAmi or whoever you bought your figures from, because usually they will replace the figure and send you a replacement one, which is great. That's why I love AmiAmi. They have a very good customer service thing about replacing broken figures that came with a manufacturer defect. Most places I think do, but AmiAmi I know is very good at that. As far as the price of the figure, I'm actually going to make sure I have the right price so I can inform you guys correctly. I know the USD for the figure was like 202 USD, but the Japanese price 32,180 yen, which is 202, 203 USD. And it's, like I said, beautiful figure. Love the fact that it's made by Alter. And if you don't know, Heaven's Feel, Fate by itself is one of my favorite series because I really do like the series. I've seen everything from for all the Fate Stay series and Fate Grand Order. I used to play the mobile game a lot, but the Heaven Feels movies are by far some of the best animated movies I've ever seen. So that's why I really wanted to get these figures, because the Heaven's Feel, I think the Heaven's Feel movies are fantastic. I own all three of them. I've seen all three of them in theaters when they were released. It's amazing. But if you haven't seen my new room, well, you guys haven't, because I haven't did a room tour of the new room. But my old room tour, you've seen a lot of my Fate figures. I have like the 25th anniversary figures for 25th, or is it 25 or 20th? 20 or 25, one or two. For Fate Stay Night, when I have Saber, Rin, and Sakura next to each other. I have a lot of Saber figures. I have a lot of John Alter figures. So Fate is a big franchise for me. But Fate Heaven's Feel is probably the best of that, and I really do love it. And I do like the Sakura a lot, because Sakura, out of the three romance options in like the Fate light novels, between Saber, Rin, and Sakura, Sakura is my favorite. So that's why I probably lean more towards Heaven's Feel with that ending. But this figure is gorgeous. I do love it a lot, and it is just fantastic. I don't see a lot of good Sakura figures, so that's probably another reason. Like I said, there's a bunch of Saber figures. There's a good handful of Rin figures and a bunch of the servants, but Sakura is a very big outlier because she doesn't necessarily have a lot of figures. There's a lot of, actually, I don't even know if there's a lot of Sakura face characters. I don't really think about a lot of Sakura face characters. Because again, I don't think she's the most prominent. There's a lot of Saber faces, a lot of Ren faces. There's a handful of Sakura faces, but she, again, not the most prominent one. Which sucks, but you know, that's very different. But guys, I really, really do enjoy this. I really think this is cool. Well, I do want to say, for my upcoming videos for the channel, I do have another figure box. Like I said, I have the Agile Lane figure to do. I also got another figure from Fate Grand Order that arrived, and I'll be doing that one, maybe not next week, but the week after that one. I've already started kind of doing the filming for that one, but I will do that one next. But for this Monday, Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to get back to my Weeb Wednesdays, Manga Monday, and talking about a lot of stuff. Most likely the Weeb Wednesday won't be the next one, because I want to talk about this season of anime. I want to talk about things I'm looking forward to, the series I'm planning to watch, and my first experience with those first 1 or 2 episodes, because I think this season of anime has some of the best things I've seen so far. And if you want to, I will talk about last season. Like, I can talk about kaiju and stuff like that, since I was reading it. But I might make that into a different Week Wednesdays or something. But I do want to talk about this season of anime, and I want to start doing that periodically now to make that a more streamlined or a more discussed thing that I do on the channel. But guys, I want to thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, cowboy. Peace.